This money doesn't all go to me. Only about 40% of what you give me goes to me. Less, actually, because PayPal has to take a cut. But that's life. It's, there's no cheaper way to do this. Well, no, it's not a matter of cheaper. PayPal transfer fees aren't particularly harsh. The issue is that I have employees. Contractors, technically, I don't have an LLC. Also, I pay taxes, you know. So all the money that we make past a certain threshold, 20% of it goes each to Ryan and Tempest. And then, of course, I pay taxes, which at my income bracket would be about 30% total of any amount I make above the amount I typically make. So, yeah, thereabouts. I might be voting in a Republican next time, lads. You know, those tax cuts are just too sweet. Now that I'm in the pretty much like near the uppermost tax bracket, I don't know, guys. Hey, you know, I'm all about practicing what I preach. And what do I preach but class interest, right? I'm always a big advocate for the idea that people's economic realities determine a large part of their behavior. And how do you keep track of what you need to pay in taxes as a self-employed person? It's just about 30% of every dollar I make. Everything that goes to my bank account at the end of the month. Thereabouts, you know. Of course, you know, it's always better to just not spend much money and just have a lot to throw towards the tax man, should it be needed. And lie like crazy on your tax return. No, don't do that. Don't lie. That's bad. That's illegal, even. Don't do that. You know what else is illegal? How fucking cute this cat is. Oh my god. Hello. Ba 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 ba. The IRS knows how much one makes, asks us to guess what it is, and is like, psych, you guessed wrong, you're going to get punished now. Right, well, when it comes to your income, you can't really lie to the IRS, you know. The vast majority of the money that I make, it goes through Streamlabs, PayPal, YouTube, Google AdSense, Patreon, and those all file returns to the IRS, so I can't lie about any of that. You can lie about money that you've gotten under the table. That's one of the reasons people pay other people under the table. It's because cash transfers, unless they go through a register or some other kind of way of tracking the allotted income, it's the IRS can't really track those. In fact, the IRS will almost never follow up on improprieties along those lines unless you give them some kind of signal that you're money laundering or not paying your taxes properly. And that only happens in rare cases, honestly, like instances of people living way outside of their means. That's not something that's really going to affect regular people. More of a, you know, if you're a criminal and you're supposed to have a $20,000 a year job, but you're like in a Bugatti, you're, you know, mansion and something. But that's quite rare. You know, the IRS is underfunded. They can't follow up on many suspected cases of tax fraud. So that's something to keep in mind. Additionally, deductions are something that the IRS cannot track properly. If you say, yeah, this purchase was for work, wink, you know, the IRS will almost never call you on your bullshit because they just don't really have the money to. They can't really follow through on it. It's also really difficult for them to prove. How do they prove that exactly? You know, how much of your square footage is dedicated towards your workstation? Is this for a job? Is that for a job? You know, is this stuff like that? Now, of course, I'm not suggesting that you should be duplicitous when filing any of your tax returns or when listing deductions. I'm only saying that these are things the IRS cannot reasonably follow up on. They really just they just can't. Would the IRS be a thing under a free market socialist co-op system? Yeah, as long as there's a state, you need taxes. And even in a stateless society, there would still be ways of allocating the fruits of labor towards the common good. Yeah, but no. The IRS is the only state agency that I want tripled in funding. Really. What's the funding for the IRS? It's like nothing. Hold on. IRS yearly budget. It's like nothing. 12 billion? 12 billion. $12 billion towards the collection of all the tax revenue for the entirety of the United States. 12 billion. It's like nothing. That's nothing. That's like a fifth of what Elon Musk made in 1 year in 2020. You know, not the EPA. Well, we can get the EPA as well. Yeah, but no, the IRS should be funded quite a bit more, I think. Yeah, they could make that back easily just by, like, finding instances of tax fraud. They could make a doubled, budget back very, very quickly, I think. They should make filing taxes a lot easier. In other countries, the government just sends you a bill. Did you know that? Here in the United States, like the other chatter said, you have to do the math and write out this, that, and the other, fill it out, send it, and they'll tell you if you're wrong. You'll find out when the debt collectors come. But in other countries, the government just sends you a bill. The reason in the US it's not like that is because companies that stood to make a profit from having people come to them for tax filing legislated and lobbied to keep the IRS from doing your taxes for you. How wild is that? This is an instance of a corporation making life objectively worse and harder and less effective and efficient for everyone just so a few companies can make more money. All the people responsible for that decision, all the people who participated in that, please let chat know that TurboTax and H&R are unbased and that Free Tax USA will let you do everything without paying for it. I can't verify that information, but I suppose I'll believe you. I just have an accountant. I mean, past a certain amount of money, you should always just have an accountant. You shouldn't just go to a regular old tax filing service. I had the best accountant for a year, and now I can't see, her anymore. Just COVID and, stuff changed. The first accountant that I had after making a proper amount of money was, like I'd meet her properly, and she was a fucking libertarian. I talk with her about my job while meeting with her in person because, I have to explain where my money comes. Like why not? I'm talking with her about my finances. Proper libertarian, we were talking. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a socialist. She's like, really? We were arguing over that, and she did a great job, by the way. Incredibly, well priced for the work. Did a great job filing everything. $250 for the whole tax business, plus some, accounting advice. What kind of libertarian? Right libertarian, and I had to wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yearly? No, it was just for the one thing. Since then, I've done work with a firm, because she's just availability and scheduling and stuff. Yeah, I'm just talking, Jesus. But yeah, it's good. Shit, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I had to wink, wink, nudge, nudge her a little bit. She was like, as long as in your socialist utopia, people are still allowed to compete in the free market. And I was like, yeah, don't worry. It'll be okay. Sure, yeah. She was really nice. I really, really liked her, I think most right libertarians just basically want like neo-Confederacy where they can set up their own company towns and like, enslave black people or whatever. I don't think that of her at all. I just think she's an honest to God, like, priestess of the free market. Who I have a lot more respect for, by the way. People who legitimately think that free market forces are like corrective and will fix the world or whatever. I'd like those people a lot more than like the neo-Confederate selective libertarians who pretend to be anti-government until the government cracks down on people they don't like, She seemed principled, though. So, more respect for that.